Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is our first episode. It's Amy Drew and Biggie. Name? What do you think, Amy? In the works, right?
It's in the works, but right now I think that what we really need is intro music. We need some music to
Yes.
lead in.
Yes, we will have some intro music. We will have all those things as we go. But I got tired of us talking about doing this, and I wanted us to get to actually start recording. So this is our first episode. It could be pilot zero, whatever you want to call it. But this is our first episode. Amy and I have been wanting to do this for quite some time. I thought it'd be a good way to introduce us to you, and what to expect when you're listening to us and in this podcast. So I guess we'll go first. Amy, tell people a little bit about who you are.
I am Amy Drew, first of all. Biggie likes to shorten that, but my
I
name is
always
Amy
shorten
Drew.
it. Yes.
He does. My name is Amy Drew, and I am the multimedia food reporter, to be formal. I'm the food reporter for the Orlando Sentinel. I like to keep it casual, but that is my formal title. Hence, look at all the multimedia that we're using right now. We've got microphones, we've got laptops, we've got Bluetooths, which I don't know what the plural of that is properly. Is it Bluetooth or Bluetooths?
Bluetooths.
Open it for discussion.
I like it.
And we're here to talk about food because that's what we talk about most of the time.
Yes.
Anyway, so we figured we would welcome everybody into the conversation and just kind of chat about our city, which is getting notoriety. I still think that the world mostly thinks that we're a giant theme park. But we love our theme parks, as you can see. Some of you can see based on my mug. But we're not just theme parks. There's so much good food here, and I think that we are here to be ambassadors of that.
Yes, very much so. And I'm Biggie. I run a clothing brand called Deli Fresh Threads. I also do another podcast called Lunch with Biggie, and I'm obsessed with Orlando. I love sandwiches since my clothing brand is sandwich themed, but I do eat other foods, and I love.
He does.
Yes, I do eat other things, and so I thought this would be a great opportunity to be able to hang out with Amy Drew and just kind of be able to chat about these things, because we usually end up talking and then we get on a roll and it just kind of goes from there. So
on a roll.
Yes, very much so. So I figured this would be a good time to kind of do a few little things before we go into our topic of new restaurants and things like that. But I kind of thought it'd be fun to do a getting to know you section. So I have a few questions, and I'll answer them as well, but I figured I'd ask you, and then we can kind of take it from there. My first question is, favorite food memory from your childhood?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to spout out a few of them, and then when we're off the air, I'm going to be like, wait, I remembered another one. I grew up in the restaurant business. My father owned restaurants and coffee shops and things like that. But he owned one restaurant for the first 12 or 13 years of my life. And it was a sit down, what they called back in the day, continental cuisine. So there was some French food, there was some Italian food. It had steaks and seafood and burgers and things like that. There was a bar. And so I used to love going to the restaurant. It's really fun when I go and I interview people and I see their kids kind of hanging out. It's different now. They stick the kid in the corner with like an iPod or an iPad rather, or something. But, I used to go behind the bar and mix everything on the gun together and play the jukebox, because there was a jukebox in the bar. It was just cool being a restaurant kid. And one of my favorite memories is going there and having my dad. I could pick anything on the menu. I would get a burger and fries one time. I would get veal parmesan and spaghetti another time. I would get scallops another time. So, it was fun being a restaurant kid. The not so fun part is that your dad is never home because he's always at the restaurant. So the restaurant people listening to this will relate to that. So
no, I could totally. That's one of the reasons why I don't want to open a restaurant.
That's just one. That's one childhood memory that's food centric.
I like that. I think we may have to incorporate something like that where I get a food memory from you, a food thought from you.
Bologna sandwiches.
Bologna sandwiches.
That was one of my favorites when I was a kid.
Really?
Yes, bologna with mustard. Always with mustard.
White bread.
Later on in life, I got more sophisticated and I started to put mayo and mustard.
Okay.
There has to be mustard.
And I'm assuming white bread.
When I was really little, white bread, and then, but I also really liked it on a Kaiser roll. I'm from New York. We put everything on Kaiser rolls.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. I would say my favorite food memory as a child. Man, it's funny because I loved eating my grandmother's food. Whenever my grandmother would make food, she would make like all these different, like she would make empanadas, she would make albondigas, which are like Cuban style meatballs.
Meatballs, yeah.
All those
Good
things,
stuff.
like those are some of the things that I remember because she just knew I was a foodie. So she would always like, oh, Anthony, what do you want to eat? ¿Qué quiere comer? And I would be like, oh, I want this. And so she would make that. And then like the other thing would probably be would be like as a kid, I don't know why, but I'm like I used to get excited because I was one of those where my mom would give me like the little Tupperware with like tuna in it. So I would like for lunch, and I'm like I don't want to eat tuna or eat like little, like I don't know. I was like the husky kid. So I was, because of that, I was always like on a low, I was always on a diet food. So when my parents would have like leftover meatloaf and my dad would make me a meatloaf sandwich for
Oh, the
lunch,
meatloaf sandwiches are so
oh
good.
man, I was in heaven. Like those are like, I was like, man, this is the best. So to me, that would probably be like some of my favorite memories would be those. I mean, obviously I always have, you always kind of get come and ebb and flow as they go.
I had
Um,
one grandmother who made, I used to go there when we moved out of Brooklyn. We used to go visit my grandmother every weekend. And one of my grandmas would always make chicken soup every weekend for me. So it was chicken soup with all of the stuff, and it would be all separate. And I had, chicken soup, noodles, all that stuff. That would be like my Sunday meal at one of my grandmother's houses. Um, and then later growing up, going to the deli, I had like a few different favorites. Chicken cutlet on a roll was one of my, right?
yeah.
Chicken cutlet, mayo, lettuce, salt, pepper. That
So
was,
what's crazy, Amy Drew, this is the crazy part. Everyone would probably think that I'm like, I think sometimes when people ask me like, well, have you always loved sandwiches? I always have loved sandwiches, but the thing was this: my parents did not. I did not eat a lot of sandwiches as a kid. Like my parents,
that's
it
why
was
you
just
love it. It's like a guilty pleasure.
and that's what it is. It's one of those
Extra
things where
bread.
because of the fact that I was deprived of these things, it
Right.
became then an obsession. I wanted everything into a sandwich. Like I wanted everything into a sandwich that I couldn't have. Spaghetti and meatballs, let's put it in a sandwich. Like that's literally
Oh,
what was my thing.
it's
Um,
so funny. My mom became, when we left Brooklyn, my dad was never home. Like for 11 years, I saw my dad once a week, basically. And my mom was not the food person in my family. My dad was. My mom was not a cook. She would, with my mom, I would eat pasta. She would make me dinners like baked potatoes with peas. It would just be like, there'd be no meat. And then she got into health food and fitness. My sister was aged out into college. I was little and home with my mom, and I was basically at her mercy. So there was no junk food in my house. And every once in a while, she would throw me a bone, and she'd buy me like a box of cinnamon Pop Tarts or some kind of sugar cereal or a box of Devil Dogs. And I would eat that I would eat like half the box one day and half the box the next day
yep,
because I was starving for the junk food.
you were deprived.
Yeah, which is
Yes,
why when I grew up and I had my own kids, I was like, moderation is key. Because if you
amen.
don't have moderation, then you end up with a kid who eats 12 devil dogs in one
Correct.
sitting.
Correct. Because I'm going to tell you, and this, you want to know, I'm going to go in. This is deep food talks here.
'Cause I was that
Um,
kid.
I was the kid. I was the kid that
Noodles,
got.
especially.
I was the kid that got in trouble, and I swear, if anyone ever wants to direct a reenactment of this, I'm down for it. Because I envision what it's supposed to look like. But I was the kid that would take a bag of M&Ms, because like I would find a bag of M&Ms for like Halloween or something. I would grab it and I would eat it in the shower because I would eat it in the shower. So, and all I see envisioning, and then we had like this cup that we would have like to like, I guess, to like when I would take like a bath or whatever as a kid.
That's like
We still,
isn't that what they call a pathology? What the doctor call that a pathology?
all I know is that because like I loved M&Ms, and I swear to God, to this day I envision it. It's a black and white scene, and the M&Ms, like the M&Ms are like the color of the M&Ms is draining, going down the drain.
Oh
Like
my God, it
that's
sounds like Psycho.
yeah, like that's literally how I have it envision it. But my mom found the packet upside down. The cup was upside down because I was horrible. I was a good kid, so I didn't know how to break the system and sneak it. And I like
So
snuck it
you
in,
would
but
leave the wrapper in there.
I left a wrapper under the cup. And then my mom's like, "Why is there a wrapper of M&Ms in the?" Oh, I don't know, Mom. I don't know what happened. And my
Kids
mom's
are
like, "I
no
know it was
bueno
you,
when it comes
Anthony."
to stuff.
So yeah, so there you go. Those are some food memories, and that's a bad food memory, but that is a food memory.
It's a funny one. I mean, I guess.
Have you ever had a food related dream?
Oh God. Every day is a food related. Waking dreams. I can't, none of them are popping, but yes, I am
Yeah.
sure that I've had food, especially probably work related dreams that involve.
Well,
the
yeah. I
last
mean, you
4
deal with
years,
food all the time, so yeah, I
because
could
my
see that.
job is now food. So yeah, I would
Yes.
say it's safe to say that I've had food dreams.
How long have you been working at Orlando? How long have you been doing Orlando Sentinel and talking about and writing about food now?
In May, it will be 5 years.
Wow.
Isn't that unbelievable? I've known you for longer than that, though.
Yes, we have.
Biggie and I kind of met. We kind of met on the internet. We meet on Twitter.
Yeah, I think we did. You were doing. Were you doing top 10 or best of? What was it?
At that time, I was the Orlando local expert. I'm making air quotes for USA Today's 10 Best.
Yes,
which I did. Yes. Was one of my freelance gigs, and I did that right up until I took the job at the Sentinel.
Yeah. And we've been following each other. We've been interacting and following each other probably since that time.
So is that how did we end up? Do you remember?
Twitter. I tweet. I
know it was Twitter, but do you remember what it was that connected us?
I don't know. I know I was always commenting. It had to be something sandwich related. Or at least at the time, maybe something. I know it wasn't theme park related, but I know it was something sandwich related. I'm almost going to have to see now. May have to do a search of my old tweets to see if I can find that. I would love
to know that. Let's
find what our first time. If you were to be a food, what would you be?
Oh, this is on the spot.
And I'll let you think about it while I answer. I've had
that on next coming. Stay tuned for that answer on next week's show. I need time to think about that.
I'll let you think about some of these. I'll let you think about it. I'll let you have like these, and then if you come back, you'd be like, "Hey, remember when I said episode 1? This is what I thought about."
I've decided what food I am.
food related dreams for me. I know I've dreamt about making food, and I've dreamt about things like that, like having dinner and eating with certain people, but I've never dreamt. So I've had some form of food related dream, but nothing crazy, nothing crazy that I can recall. And obviously, my given answer, if you were to be a food, what would you be? I'd be a sandwich, obviously. Is what I would be.
Yeah, you would definitely be a sandwich. And if I were a sandwich, I'd be a little slider. I'd be a small sandwich. I would be a very small sandwich.
So you'd be like on one of those Hawaiian rolls?
Yeah, maybe something like that. A little King's Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Kahlua pork slider.
I like that. I like that. You have a sauce. What kind of sauce would that be?
I don't know. Well, it's Kahlua pork, so a Kahlua pig. I don't know. I don't know what I would be. I would be something on a little tiny dinner roll, though.
I like
or
that.
Something. Maybe I would. I like rye. Could it be like a caraway seed roll? A little tiny caraway seed roll.
Maybe. I like it.
I don't know. I'll have to think. What sandwich would I be? What food would I be?
Or what food would you be? Because obviously you don't have to be a sandwich. I would be a sandwich. Most likely, I probably. Depends on my mood. I will say that, like, depending on where I go, there are certain things that I automatically eat. And so, like, I love a good chicken, like a chicken cutlet, chicken parm type sub. I love those. I usually tend to.
That chicken cutlet on a roll was like one of my. That was my favorite at the Jericho Deli. That's what I used to get. Chicken cutlet on a roll.
Is that the name of your dad's restaurant?
No. This was just when I was in high school, and I used to go to the Jericho Deli. And it was a chicken cutlet on a roll with mayo, lettuce, salt, and pepper.
Okay.
It was so good. Because they would heat the chicken cutlet up before they put it on the roll. So good.
Heck yeah. Yeah. I miss those. And
wasn't anything fancy. It was delicious.
And that's the beauty of the sandwich. The sandwich, you can do it something super simple and it'd still be delicious. Like a turkey.
They made great chicken cutlets there.
Oh. Now I want a chicken cutlet. Are you a sweet or a salty?
If I have to, I want both.
Okay, so do
But
I.
if you're forcing me to pick, I'm savory over sweet.
Okay. I'm usually savory over sweet, but if
Sophie's
I could,
choice on the platform.
yeah,
I'm like,
no,
okay, take my pie.
can I have both? Is do you have a favorite? I'll give you the three categories. I'm like I said, I'm salty sweet. I like both of them. I love a good like chocolate covered pretzel or flips or anything like that. I think that's like always a good one. I do like a little sweet and a little savory. Um, do you have a favorite? I'll go with just like a generic favorite movie, song, or TV show.
Oh, favorite movie? I what jumps to the top? I have many. There's so many movies that I love, but what jumps to the top of the pack is Army of Darkness.
I thought you would probably say that because we
Number
last time we talked.
3 in the Evil Dead trilogy. One of the best movies. So funny. Classic throwbacks to the Ray Harryhausen, claymation, the Jason and the Argonauts kind of claymation with the skeleton armies and Bruce Campbell, so handsome and so ridiculously funny. I just love it. I love horror. I love really good horror comedies are great. Like really good. But I love Army of Darkness.
Um,
And it's a popcorn movie, so like it plays very well into your
yeah.
sweet question. I didn't have braces as a kid, so I can safely tell you that I want Milk Duds right now because I don't have any horror stories about eating Milk Duds with braces because I can only imagine those
Oh,
brackets probably
yeah.
would
No
come
milk
right
duds
off.
for me. No milk duds for me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I ate Milk Duds safely through my whole adolescence.
Favorite movie for me. I know, like it's always a classic if I see it. I've always been a fan of Uncle Buck. I've always been like I'm a huge fan of John Candy. I've noticed.
Yes.
And so Uncle
Yes,
Buck is
planes, trains, and
usually
automobiles,
yes,
and
all of
Uncle
those.
Buck.
Yes. All of those are ones that I love. I'm always down for a good comedy. I definitely won't say no to a rom-com either, but a good comedy for sure. What about a favorite song or TV show?
So I love cartoons. So most of my favorite TV shows of, in the last 20 years were cartoons. I sitcoms for me are hit or miss. I have good memories in the 80s and 90s of stupid sitcoms, but
Yeah.
like my heart is with the 70s sitcoms of my childhood.
Yeah.
Like I loved I don't know, favorite TV show of late.
What
I
about
don't know. We
like
could
wait,
just
hold
talk.
on. But before you go, you got to tell me you said cartoons, but you didn't give me one. You didn't even give me one cartoon.
Um, a today cartoon or a
Yeah,
retro
yeah,
cartoon?
today cartoon.
Bob's Burgers. There
Oh
you go.
yeah. Love it.
There's a lot of food in that. Love
Love
Bob's
Bob's.
Burgers.
Yes.
Love Bob's Burgers. Love Archer. Same
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Very, very different show. Both
Yeah.
very, very funny. Um, so yeah, those would be. I just recently, like a year ago, they just started releasing new episodes. Got into the Great North. If you've ever seen that one,
Yes. Yes.
I watched 2 episodes of the new season, but I don't watch a tremendous amount of TV. I
Yeah.
watch a lot of old movies when I watch it. Although I will have a series now and then, and I just finished Only Murders in the Building
Oh, good
for a
series.
month. It was so good. So now I'm ready for season 4.
Okay, perfect.
But
I
yeah,
love.
I'm a cartoon person.
Yeah.
Um, by and large, regular show, loved it. Um, trying to think. Flapjack. I like the weird ones. I like what I'm still trying to finish is My Hero Academia. That's anime.
Yeah.
That's a
You
Japanese
really do.
cartoon.
I didn't realize you were so into that. That's awesome. Into all the
Yeah, I
cartoon
love
stuff.
cartoons. I'm a
Yeah.
cartoon girl. I'm an animation
I
girl.
I usually will watch cartoon like we watched for a little while, quite a bit, a long run, not as long anymore, like Family Guy and stuff like that.
Oh,
My
love the old family. Haven't seen any of the new
yes.
ones.
Yeah, my
Really.
TV show for me, I'm definitely the ensemble guy. I love a good ensemble show. I love shows like Modern Family, The Office, Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Back in the
Superstore.
day, what was the radio one? No, not talk radio? No, it wasn't talk radio. It
Was
was the
that
one with Phil Hartman and Joe
Yes.
Rogan and
Yes.
the guy from Kids in the Hall.
Yes. I remember.
Um,
Yes. I remember that show. And that was a great one. That was a great show. Now
what
I'm going to
was
have to
that?
look it up.
Anyway, that show was great.
Yes. Yes.
And that
No.
was very ensemble.
Yes. Those, I love those type of shows. I love shows like that kind of like are a group thing. I think it's they're just something that we enjoy. My whole family enjoys like watching it. So that's something I definitely enjoy. Um Favorite, we'll go with favorite Orlando. Like, what's your favorite thing about the Orlando food scene? Since what would you say? I know you kind of touched a little bit about it, that we're not theme parks, and obviously that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do this podcast, was to kind of highlight some of these things, but also for you and I to be able to talk about different food topics. Is there something that kind of brings out that you're thinking of?
The Orlando food scene, I'm sure if I had more than a second to mull this over, I would have a better answer. But just for foundationally, the Orlando food scene is just, and it's probably this way in a lot of cities our size, I'm sure. Like if you went to, I don't know, what would be a comparable tier city, you know? We have everything from, and I love to write, the Michelin and the James Beard cred is unbelievable. I love that it's bringing people here to recognize us, but we have so many incredible, and a lot of the people who are getting that recognition were once smaller, lesser known, started in, God knows where,
Yeah.
little pop-ups and whatnot. We have it from food trucks to sandwich counters and so every cuisine. In the last couple of months, I ate Uzbek cuisine a month ago. And then this week, my story, since it's not going to drop today,
Correct.
my
You'll be able to read. You'll be able to
my
read it
next
on.
piece coming up is going to be about two women who each have food businesses inside the same gas station. They each have a counter inside a Marathon station on East Colonial. One of them is Asian fusion ish because she's Korean and Chinese, but she also mixes some Japanese stuff in there and just has fun with it. The other woman's from Jamaica. And when she retired, she worked as a civilian. She had a civilian career in the military with the US military, but a civilian job.
Yeah.
And when she retired, she started catering and making the food that she grew up on in Jamaica. And now she sells it out of a gas station, and she also does catering. And so you have two women entrepreneurs starting where they can start, and one of them is, kind of just starting out, and one of them is second careering it,
Wow.
I love these stories.
I agree with you. That's one of the things that I love about the Orlando food scene, is the fact that it's become very easy to go and say, I have a concept. You could either go the cottage style, or you could either go the pop-up style. Like, there is no, and if you want, and the crazier your ideas get, the more receptive we are to it, I feel, in Orlando.
It's really
right?
true.
Like, it's just one of those things, and it's like, we appreciate good food. I also love the fact that, and I think, to me, that's the part I love. Like, when people I know kind of look at it, I know, like, People Magazine said, like, 2023, we're like the number one foodie city, and like Fat Wallet or some website. There's always a website that names us like one of the top ones, right?
And I did a story on that, and that was a fun one because people, half the city or half the foodies were like, yes, and the other half of the foodies are like, really? Like, they're basically cracking on our city.
Correct. And those are also the same people when you ask them, like, hey, where's your favorite place to get a sandwich? They're like, oh, I go to Publix, and then that's all they get, and like, or they go somewhere, you know what I mean? They go to a chain. So I think, to me, that's one of the big things, is that and one of the things that I feel that I'm hoping for is that, and we're going to try to go the route of, we're going to try to venture out of that and get us out of our comfort zone. You're going to try to help me get out of my comfort zone as well.
Yeah, I didn't really know that I figured you were adventurous. I am
adventurous. I am adventurous.
I will.
But my problem, I think, sometimes is that I don't eat out as, obviously I don't eat out as even close to what you eat out or how you go and eat out.
Nor would I if this was not my job. I don't have that budget. So I'm always quick. I feel bad when I have to recommend expensive places as being good because I know I couldn't afford them.
So, and that's for me, that's kind of the big thing, because like, I'm not the one, I'm definitely not the expensive guy. I'm the guy that wants to go to that Marathon and eat at like
Yes,
the like that. Those are my type of place. Like I
I
want
love
the
them
hole in the
all. I
wall,
love it all.
obscure, and that's the beauty of it. And so that's kind of one of the things that I kind of thought this would be fun to be able to do, because we can talk about these places and highlight some of these places, and then be able to get maybe feedback on what people are looking for and wanting. So I definitely think that
It's my
that's one of
dog.
the great things about the foodie scene when it comes to Orlando. Speaking, since we're obviously something new and we're starting something new, I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk a little bit about what you're kind of seeing and what we're kind of seeing. And I kind of started doing research about restaurants opening, new restaurants, some of the ones closing, and I thought it'd be kind of a fun little thing to kind of talk about, just because there is a lot happening in the beginning of this year with restaurants opening
There's a
up.
lot
And
happening always. It's just, I mean, we can pinpoint to the beginning of the year because people call it a milestone. What
correct.
restaurants opened this year? What restaurants closed this year? What are we looking forward to in the new year? All of that. So we've just kind of passed through that but really there's stuff happening all the time. All the time.
So I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna name drop some places. Obviously, if you want to drop in some more information on it or whatnot, or be like, hey, but I kind of thought it'd be fun. I figure we go with the good news first, which is like the openings, and then we'll talk about some of the places that we've seen that have closed
Mhm.
in the most recent past. So like most recently, I would say the one that I'm like, because we both have know him very well. Matt Hinckley's on like a tear. Looking
Love,
at,
I
I'm
love
seeing like
what
the
he
mid
does.
drive dive and also Boxer and Clover, two
Yeah.
different concepts, two different locations, one of them matching up with Jacob and Brittany from the Neighbors in mid drive dive in College Park, and then the
Yeah.
other one
The
is
drinks are going to be, I mean, I saw pictures of the drinks. I haven't really seen the food yet, but yeah, I love what Matt Hingley does. I love
yes,
everything he does. I love
yes,
that he does fancy food, but he's like so not a fancy guy. I mean, he's
yes,
so down to earth. Me and Matt have eaten, bowling alley beef on whack and Loganberry, and it's all good. And that's
yeah.
one of the fun things I think about chefs in general, a lot of them anyway, that I meet is that, they make, they're like, oh, it took 30 days to age this fish and then I marinated it and then on the way home I stopped at Fazoli's and ate breadsticks. Like these are the stories I get.
That is classic. And then the other concept I think that I saw is the Boxer and Clover, which is supposed to be barbecue and pies, right?
Yes, he was popping up with this at East End Market, kind of. I mean, he wasn't, I wouldn't say it was on the DL because he was there,
Yeah.
but I was at East End Market a couple of times over the past year and I saw him out under a pop-up tent doing this barbecue thing. And I was usually there for something else, so I didn't end up getting any, but this is obviously what became Boxer and Clover. And
Mhm.
he's got some rock and roll cred going on in
I
there,
saw that. I saw
right?
that. Yeah, I
Right?
saw that. I'm excited to try. I'm excited to try both places. Anything he makes is good. Some other places to note, at least the kind of like repeat restaurateurs that are doing other stuff. I know
Sorry,
like
the
Thai Asian Street Fair opened its second location in Oviedo, which is phenomenal. Um, I saw
best
that.
wings. The best
Super good.
wings. I
Food
think
is
that
so
they
good.
have I keep trying and I find so many good wings, but Kwan's the bark on those wings, the dry rub and the spicy tang, those are
It's
just they are it for me.
phenomenal. The
Yeah.
Black Bean Deli opens its third location in Winter Garden. I saw, and maybe you can kind of give me a little bit like the Dim Sum House. I guess this is like, is it John Zhao's? It's like his fourth. It's like his fourth concept
I
is
have
opening up
not
in Claremont.
I have not done the dim sum house yet, but
Yeah.
I am a huge fan of two of his, well, three actually, because I loved YH, which is sort of like YH Seafood Clubhouse, I think
Mm-hmm.
is the name.
Yep.
And I reviewed them a while back. That's sort of like the flagship, at least the Orlando area flagship, because he's had restaurants in Tampa and other places for a while, which has really, really good food. I mean, when I say it's opulent, it's really a beautiful restaurant. I don't want to make it like sound like you have to wear an evening gown to go there. You do not, but it's really beautiful, very traditional. And then he has these sort of more fast casual concepts that he's done. 1908 Bakery on Colonial in Mills
Yep.
50. Tremendous. Tremendous. Go there for dim sum brunch. Get the pastries. I did not. It's just a matter of what do you like best, because
Yeah.
there was not. I tried a lot of stuff at that restaurant. There was nothing I wouldn't eat again. Everything was good. Everything was good. And I brought two different people there with me, and both of them agreed.
Love it. No, those are the things. Those are the things I want to be able to know about. My wife and daughter have been to the bakery as well, and they loved it as
They've
well.
recently added some new menu items too since I've been. So I
Oh,
know that
really?
there's more vegetarian / vegan stuff going on over there now.
I
Cute space, great system.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it's happening. I know what we have, like I saw Cow and Cheese obviously opened up as well. That's a second concept from Chicken Fire and their group. I saw that a few food trucks went the route of food truck to brick and mortar, like the Berea 1983, the Drake Kitchen and Bar are some
Oh,
places.
I'm excited for the Drake, because Duck and Drake, they've been outside Digress Wine for a few years now,
Yep.
and you have two chefs who have worked in Rona and God, why can't I remember? Eberto? Yes,
Okay.
Segura. They have been so amazing in bringing, seriously, like some of the best French fries you will ever eat. I know it sounds funny. These
Okay.
world-class chefs. Yeah, French fries. They are so good. And now outside of the truck, which will still be there, the
Yep.
trailer is staying at Digress. They have this beautiful new restaurant, which I have not been to yet, but is one of the things that I am most excited about to try this year. They're
Yeah. Was
actually
it?
open now.
I
I mean,
believe
they're
they are.
like
Yeah, I think they're in soft opening right now.
they're in soft open. The
Yep.
grand opening is very soon.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know when this is going to air, but it's
Yeah.
imminent.
By then you'll be able to definitely check it out and see what's going on. And then I know that at the same time, I've also seen some national brands, because obviously that's kind of how it works a lot of times.
Those are
National teams are also coming
Mhm.
to Central Florida. We got like a Canes. We got Fat Burger, I guess, is coming. We also
Haven't
have
tried
like
either of those yet.
Potbelly. Have you been to
Haven't tried it
Potbelly
yet.
yet?
Haven't tried
And
it yet.
then obviously one that I'm super excited about that opened, and I was literally there the day it opened before it even had like the ribbon cutting soft serve. Like I literally got, as soon as I saw it, I think I got the message on Instagram at like 5:30. Probably by 7 o'clock, I was there. It was Vicky's Bakery on Cimarron, because
Oh, the Miami
I
Bakery. I
love
haven't
me a
gone
good
there.
pastelito. I love me a good pastelito, and as much as I love a variety of different people, like the gnarly Cubans and a variety of different people, I'm a sucker for that. It's just kind of has that taste. So I wanted to have some croquetas and some pastelitos, and it's delicious.
I lived in Miami for 6 years, so I got very comfortable
Yeah.
eating pastry, Cuban pastry. You have to eat pastelitos standing up.
Yes. Because of
A
the
good one,
flaky.
if it's a good
Yes.
one. If
Yes.
your lap is not full of shatter, then it's a crummy, then it's
Correct.
not a crummy pastry. And like
Correct.
there should be shatter all over you, and you should want to eat it standing up, like leaning out, like you're eating a greasy piece of pizza in the
Yes.
street.
But you
Otherwise,
just
like
don't
fat
want, yeah.
ripping you up.
You don't want any of that on you. I mean, granted, I don't have a problem with it on me, because then that means it's like extra for me to have. But
No, I'll eat them in the car, but I
yes,
know what I'm getting into. If you eat one of
correct.
those in the car, it's all over you and you're done.
Yes, yes, very much so, very much so.
Well, now
Yeah,
I
so
have to try Vicky's.
yes, so Vicky's is definitely good. I will tell you this: I've asked the gnarly Cuban girls, and I've asked anyone who makes pastelitos. No one makes, like, I'm me being the food guy. I want to do kind of like a Cuban, like the almost like a not a sandwich, because I don't think a pastelito is a sandwich, but I want the sweet and savory. So I want a pastelito de carne, which is ground meat, with the guayaba and cheese. So the guava and cheese and the meat together in a pastelito.
Have
Um,
you had at Poppy Smash, he does some really fun, sweet, savory
he
stuff.
does. I know he's got some burgers with like sweet plantains and stuff like that,
So
which is
good.
great. Yes,
Yes, really good.
I'm excited for that. At the same time as we're talking about things opening and starting, I know we've seen some places close up as well, that I find, some of them are you know, I don't know. Sometimes I'm a little shocked by it, but at the same time, I'm always kind of amazed when I see that. Like I saw that, like, Hungry Pants, before the end of the year closed.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
shame. They had the food there was so phenomenal, and it was so it hit so many people. If you're vegan, you're
yeah,
vegetarian, so many great options, but they had meat on the menu too. It was just a really beautiful, clean, nice design. I was sad to see them go.
I know Bem Bombs, House of Mac, Thai Basil, I think Slate and Dr. Phillips. The last thing I also saw was like Sugar Dough Bakehouse, the one over in Audubon Park, which I guess now the Chiffon Culture Bakery Cafe, I think it took over that spot. They do
Mhm.
macaroons and a variety of different I think French pastries. Um
Macaron.
Macaron, sorry.
There's a
Um
I did a whole story about that. We can't talk about it. There's macaron, there's macaroon. They are two different things. They're not even the same thing.
okay, so me not being the cultured one, what is,
It's
can you give me
not
like
cultural. It's just
what's
food.
the okay, so knowledge
As
share,
somebody
to
who
me.
has the argument that a hot dog is not a sandwich, I expect you to, you know.
This is why we're doing this podcast, so I can learn. So can you at least give me like the Cliff Note version of like what's the macaroon versus the macaron? Like
A
what's the
well, you
difference?
know what? I'm going to bring them here for our next podcast. I
Okay.
will have both here so I can show everybody visually. But
Okay.
macaron is a French meringue cookie
Yes.
with sweet filling. You pipe it out, you bake it. They're little meringues, and they're
Hmm.
very, very pretty. If I can be honest with you, it's not my favorite cookie, to be honest
It's
with
like
you.
a cookie sandwich. It's kind of like a sandwichy.
And I mean, the texture is nice. I will admit it. The best macaron I ever had to date is the one that I had. It wasn't for this at Epcot. It was several years ago at one of the food festivals. They did a raspberry cookie with a dark chocolate ganache filling
Okay.
for the macaron. It was like the best macaron. I still haven't topped that one. Macaroons, on the other hand, are a coconut. They're gluten free. Coconut. Actually, macarons may be gluten free too. It's meringue. Um, it's a coconut cookie, like a
Got it.
cluster cookie. Sometimes you get them flavored. Traditional would be like an almond coconut cookie, but they make chocolate chip and they make pistachio, and there's all different flavors, but it's a coconut cookie. If you want to see one, they almost always, I think, have them at 7 Bites. Trina does a beautiful macaroon and she half dips it in chocolate.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
also way bigger than the ones you get in the canister. It's like eating 4 of those, but
I like
homemade. So if
like
you
it.
want to try a really good macaroon, 7 Bites.
What? Since
Two
we're talking,
totally different cookies.
I like it. I now I know. I
Different
appreciate that.
spellings, different
Yes.
everything. They are different.
What with the world, with the way you're seeing things and how you're seeing things. I know we're in the early part of the year. Have you noticed a trend of like, is there a trend, or you're like, wow, there's like so many of these opening up, or more than like, because one of the things I noticed is there's a lot of donut shops opening up. Like I'm a, like I was like, as I was looking, and I didn't name them just because there's so many of them, but I feel like there's so many donut shops and stuff like that. Are you seeing a trend where you're like, wow, there's a lot more, like a lot, because what we had, like I don't know, like maybe last year or a year before, we had like that chicken flux. I would call it the chicken influx, where it was like everyone had a chicken place open up, or a
We should
chicken
have a
sandwich place.
discussion in the future about some of our favorite chicken sandwiches. Because I was
I'm
thinking
gonna write
about,
it on the list. I will write it on the list.
I
On
know
We'll
what
Talk.
my favorite one is to this day. Still,
Okay.
I can
Well, don't
name.
tell me.
There's a lot of good ones, but I know what my favorite one is.
Don't tell me, because we're gonna make that a topic.
Yours is
We'll
going to
have a
be yours.
no, no, it will not be mine. I promise you, it will not be mine. Even though mine is hella good.
It
It's
is
hella
hella good.
good, but it will not be mine. But yes, like, have you noticed a trend though, like from what you've been seeing so far?
Well, what I've been hearing, I mean, look, I don't know. I don't hand rolls, maybe sushi hand rolls. Like I feel like Sushi Saint open Mike Calantes, who's well, not that he didn't have a pedigree, but he came home. He opened his Filipino sort of fusion restaurant in the food court at Lotte Market, and now he's got Michelin stars. And so he's got at like downtown, sort of south, not really south of the Creative Village area.
Okay.
And Henry Moso is going to be doing a hand roll restaurant later this year. So maybe hand rolls is the trend. I don't know if that's nationwide, but this is an
Yeah,
Orlando
I'm
show.
thinking about.
It's
Yeah,
an
that's why I was
Orlando
curious.
show.
Yeah, that's why I was curious. I wanted to see what the Orlando trend was, and what's
So
coming.
maybe hand
So at
rolls
least,
off the top of my head.
okay, at least right now, that's the answer right now. And if things
Well, you
change,
see two of the leading chefs, you're talking about, nationally recognized on television, Michelin stars, James Beard, multi-year semifinalists and finalists last year, Henry
yeah,
Mosa. So you've got people who are, sort of the pinnacle if you're paying attention to those kinds of things.
yeah,
These two guys are at the peak in Orlando, if that's your thing.
yeah.
So, and they're both doing that. So
I love it. I love it.
maybe.
No, I think that's something to keep an eye on, to be able to see and check out. What we'll do is, as we're going, we will definitely include and do like a name drop list of all the different restaurants on the show notes. So you'll be able to kind of go in and be like, oh, what was that restaurant again? And you'll be able to give them a follow. So that way you can kind of support some of these places, check out places, maybe make your own list on your
Tell
phone of
us
like,
about places that we don't know
yes,
about. That's
yes,
even more important. Don't let us just talk at you. Please talk at me.
yes,
I wanna know about
give us what you're thinking of. I love one of the things that I love that you do, and we'll wrap up because I know we want to make these kind of short so people can enjoy them
Mhm.
and enjoy bite-sized versions of these
Yeah,
things, not full on four
bite
course
size is
meals.
good. Tapas, tapas.
One of the things that I love that you're doing and you're posting more and you're asking, but I know some people kind of they get very very feisty over it. The pizza, your local pizza joint.
I'm a
Um,
pizza girl. That's
and
like
I love pizza too, and that's why I'm like, it's always funny when I hear when you post it and you ask that question online. People are like, everyone's like, oh, that place is horrible. And she's like, well, it's like, I'm like, I just asking you like what your local pizza. I'm not saying like where's the place you're going to drive 40 minutes to. It's like, what's the
Don't tell
local
me the
place?
place that you want to put out of business, please. Like, just
Yeah,
tell me the place you like.
correct. Just give us a place that you
But
like.
it's
I
the
mean,
internet. People don't do that.
and that's kind of what our goal is. Our goal is we're going to tell you the places we like. We're gonna support. We're gonna like talk about these
Yeah.
places. We're gonna want to share about them. We want you to be able to share with us. You'll see the name soon enough, and you'll see it on the socials and everything like that. So that way you can give us a follow, and you'll see it in the show notes. But this is I think this is a good first episode.
I hope so.
To and if not, it's just gonna get better. So if you give this one kind of like it's okay, then guess what?
Well,
It's
did
gonna
you
get
watch
better
the
than this.
visual? This is my first day with curly bangs. I'm
She
hoping that
looks
it will get better.
and she looks great. She looks great at it. So it's like, think about it. It's just gonna keep getting better. So
I'm just
that's
rolling
her.
with it. I'm just rolling with it. It's what I want to try.
Just she's on a roll. We just like she and I are always on a roll. I don't see the podcast being called on a roll, but it will be. We do get on a roll.
Let's eat, Orlando.
Yes, let's eat Orlando. Let's eat Orlando. I thank you so much for listening, and definitely stay tuned for more episodes. But thanks and good night.
Good night.